right. Welcome back. Father of Ice, Father of Ice, Daughter of Fire. We wanted to record this a few days ago. Usually we try to record the episode within a very short period of time that Sammy reads them, just so that it's super fresh in her mind. She has been ready and waiting on me for the past few days. So I've had a sick baby and then just a whole lot of stuff going on. So we've had to pause a few days, but either way, we're back. Hopefully Sammy remembers her inherited goldfish memory. May serve a problem here, but we got notes, so that's good.
Yeah. I'm really glad I started the notes thing, because I feel like if it was no notes, I'd be cooked. Yeah. So anyway, so we start with Jon. He's walking down like in these little tunnels. I think they're under like Castle Black or something. He's gonna go talk to Sam, and he finds Sam in like this, like, I think it's a library, and he's looking for these maps for the Lord Commander, since they're going on their big ranging of like the 200 and whatever people. And
it's people from not only Castle Black, but aren't they getting people from the other two?
Yeah, I totally forgot about those. Like, where is that? Like,
so along the wall, from like coast to coast, back in the day, there used to be a main tower every mile or something. Maybe even less than a mile. I think there was somewhere between 15 to 20 of them. But then just over the years, the wall has less of an importance. So now there's only 3. There's a bunch of abandoned ones. Now there's only 3. Castle Black is the main one in the middle, and then there's essentially one on each wall. I think one's called like the Shadow.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Shadow something, and I would recognize the name if I heard the other one, but I forget off the top of my mind.
Okay, so he's looking for those maps, and we can tell that Sam does not want to go whatsoever. He's like, you have so many people to take. You have so many people that could do the. I think they need him for like the Ravens to send messages back, because he like knows how to read and write, obviously. And he's like, Jon, you literally know how to read and write, and I could send you. I can like teach you how to do the Ravens. I don't need to go. They mentioned this person, Redwine. He's like a ranger, but I don't really remember his importance. It's Red and then WYN.
I feel like that's a family that's kind of related to the Riverland area, but not enough to really know.
Yeah, I just put Redwine Ranger, page 71, so I don't know. They mentioned this other person named Doran Stark. I just mentioned it because it was a Stark.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I think he had something to do with like arranging before, but he's like really old.
Okay.
So it was like, he was one of the first Starks to do this and this and this, but like I don't remember if it was super important.
I don't know.
I found out Pip and Toad they're staying behind, they're not going. And Sam was like, dude, Pip and Toad get to stay, but I gotta go. Like, what is this?
I feel like those were the 2 other friend names that we'd always forget. We'd always say Dren, but Pip.
Yeah. Ben Stark was mentioned, and how they lost like a lot of Rangers within the past 2 years. And then I was wondering, like, because they were like, we, including Ben Stark, we lost a lot of Rangers in the past 2 years. Is that like Ben Stark was lost 2 years ago? Like, is that the time, or is it just like within those 2 years?
I think he is the most recent Ranger to have been lost, because prior to that was the prologue in the first book. What's his name again? Waymar Royce.
Yeah, and then like I think one of them was named Will. Yeah.
So it was Benjen, Waymar Royce, and then Waymar Royce, they were out looking for people, so there was a ranging before that. So just a series of rangings where people aren't coming back, which is why they're doing the massive one to figure out what's what.
Yeah. And then remember when I was like, Ben could still be alive? So 2 of it, I didn't realize that like the 2 dead men that came back to life, those were his men. So it's like...
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I've ever made that connection.
Yeah, so those were his men, so like they were found dead, but like he wasn't found dead.
It's all in how you want to spin it. You could either be like, he's totally dead. Like his men are dead. Or you could say, if he was dead...
Yeah, exactly. If he was dead, like he would be one of the men found.
Yeah.
Winter is coming. That was mentioned again. Again, like...
Still coming, huh?
Right. And then I make a note of, like, each place what they named the comet. So here they named it Mormont's torch, which I thought was pretty funny because it's like his torch sliding his way through the past the wall.
I think that George is probably just making a comment on
comment.
A comment on. I try to make it sound way different than it sounded exactly like comment. Just on society, how like whenever there's a sign, everybody's gonna try to make it personal. Like, oh, that's my sign,
right?
Whatever.
You know, like so dumb, it's so stupid. They have new recruits coming in, but it's not. I don't think it's Arya's like troop or whatever. It's like some other different people and
sometimes real quick the distance to go from where Arya is to the wall in real life, it would take months to get there.
Yeah. Now
sometimes, especially people will like criticize George, like, how did they get from A to B so fast? Did they have a jetpack or whatever? So it's reasonable to not expect Arya to be there relatively this quick.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't think she's like gonna get back to Winterfell and like it's gonna be all nice and dead. Oh my god. They mentioned Robb as king because I think Jon was talking to someone about like Robb. Jon was talking to somebody. I think it was the blacksmith. I don't know if it was this. Yeah, it was because the blacksmith's Donald Noy. Yeah. And I can't remember who mentioned it, but they were like, oh, you heard of your brother, he's king in the north and blah, 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 blah. Like, how do you feel about that? And he's like, oh, I think he'll be a good king, but really inside he's like, my brother is going to be the king and I'm over here on Castle Black. Nobody knows who I am.
Who's older?
Isn't it Robb? But, like, not by much.
They're super close.
Yeah, I think Robb...
I think Jon is older.
I don't think so. I feel you should look it up. I don't think he is though.
Okay. I'm not gonna look it up.
Oh my god. Well, now I want to look it up.
Well, we'll look it up later.
Okay. I think it's Robb though. I feel like it was mentioned like early on, but it's like it's got to be by like months. Like it's not like a year difference.
Because I'm trying to think when Ned went off to the war and ultimately came back home with Jon as a baby. Did he come back home and Robb was already like a
Robb was already born.
Okay.
Because I remember Kat was talking about it too. She was like, yeah, Ned left me, but like at least he left me with a baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean like, I don't know when Jon was born because he like came back with him. So like when he was already born.
I think the story as far as like Catelyn understands it is that when he went off to the war, he then slept with somebody. We don't know who Jon's mom is, and then ultimately brought
came back with the baby. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, talking about Robb, blah blah blah. Donald Noy was talking about the Baratheons, and then he was talking about how like each, like how they were as like rulers, and he was correlating it to metal.
I love this analogy.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So Robert was steel, because I forgot.
Yeah, like a true strength.
Yeah, and then Stannis was iron, like he's strong, but like any like bending is like the snap.
Right.
And then Renly used copper because like it looks all shiny, but that shit's useless.
Right. Yeah, it's such a good analogy.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. And then he said something like it was correlating to Robert. He's like a fighter is like meant to fight. If he was saying like Robert has a sword, so like if you hang him up, like and them not doing any like fighting, they rust. And I was like, tough.
Especially coming from the blacksmith, that obviously works with metals.
And then Thorin and Smallwood, I don't know who that is, but mentioned. Okay. It was mentioned that Lannisters aren't like a friend to the Watch. And then I forgot who we were talking about with this. It might have been the Bear. But he was talking about Aemon's history, and then this is where we get to. So I watched the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, such a good show. And so he was talking about how it led to like Aemon and like why Aemon like didn't take the crown and everything. Sorry guys. So they mentioned Maekar Targaryen from the show. He's the brother to Aemon's dad.
Okay.
So this is Aemon's uncle.
Yeah.
He's from the show. I don't know if I said that already. Mentions. Oh wait, no. Maekar is Aemon's dad. Sorry.
Okay.
And then Baelor, Targaryen. That's his uncle.
Okay.
Aerion Targaryen. This is one of his brothers. Darion Targaryen. This was another one of his brothers. I think Darion is the one. It's either Aerion or Darion that like drinks the cup and like it's like the crazy one.
He drinks the
like fire or something.
What do they call it now? Liquid fire.
It's
dragon fire. Or
yeah,
red fire?
something like that.
Damn.
He was like, once I drink this, I'm gonna become a dragon, and he dies. So. And then Aegon Egg Targaryen. That's his other brother, and he's the one that becomes king in the end. And it was like this whole like line of like, oh, you know, here and here, and then this one died, and blah blah blah. I don't want to like spoil it if you're gonna watch the show.
Well, I do know the histories
okay.
of the people. Okay. Now it's a little bit fuzzy, and I know Egg was like the fourth in line, and he's the fourth in line of the fourth in line. So it had to go through such a crazy route just to get to the person before him, and then such a crazy route. Like, you know, 2 generations back, you know, he was way down.
Yeah.
The fact that he ultimately became king was, you know, crazy.
Yeah.
That to me, that's my big takeaway, and I forget exactly how, you know, some live and died and who, all that kind of stuff. But it won't be a spoiler to me because, you know, I already have researched the people. Even though I kind of forgot some of them.
So the Baelor and Maekar brothers, obviously, and then their dad was like super old, gonna die. Baelor was next in line, but then the whole like plot of the Knights of Seven Kingdoms is this tournament that Baelor dies in.
Is that the tournament at Harrenhal?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know where it is,
no,
but this is
I
where
think that's too late.
This is where like, you know, Duncan and Baelor fight. Well, I don't know.
It's okay.
Okay, Baelor fights for Duncan, which is like super crazy because like he's a Targaryen and like the whole fight is Duncan and his 7 knights against the Targaryens basically.
Okay.
And so Baelor fights for Duncan, and then Maekar, his brother, fights obviously for the Targaryens and his son, which I can't remember if it's Aerion or Darion.
And when you say for the Targaryens, Egg is a Targaryen.
He's a squire for Duncan.
Okay.
Because, like, he doesn't, I mean, I don't want to say he doesn't like his family. He likes his dad.
Right, but he's still a Targaryen.
Yeah. It's not, like, fighting, like, against or for the Targaryens, but, like, majority of that, like, group was, like, a Targaryen.
Okay.
And then it was, like, weird for Baelor to, like, fight against.
Welcome to the Duncan A podcast.
It's so cool, because, like, I watch the show, so it's like I know things now. And then since he died, Maekar became, like, the king or whatever, and then it was, like, his, like, 4 sons, which were Aerion, Darion, and Aegon. And then Baelor had 2 sons, but they both died to, like, some sickness, so it wasn't, like, anything super crazy.
Poisoned.
Yeah. No, it was, like, this whole, like, plague or something. And then Darion died from or I think it's Darion. It's either Aerion or Darion. Sorry, guys, I don't remember. One of them died to, like, the drinking cup, and then I can't remember why. I think the other one died too. I don't know why. And then anyway, so it just kept going down and down and down and down. And yeah, so then it was Egg.
Cool.
That was it is cool, okay. So after that whole thing, let's see. Oh, he is talking to Mormont, and Mormont's little, like, raven is on his shoulder, and this wasn't super crazy, but his raven was, like, looking at Jon and, like, saying king, and Jon was like, this is making me feel weird. But I was like, oh, foreshadowing, but, you know.
Now, I will give you a little bit of a hint. There's something odd about that raven. Okay, so, you know, he's calling him king here, which kind of seems crazy. Just keep your eye out for that raven.
Is this the 3-eyed raven that Bran sees all the time?
Maybe, you know, there's just I don't know actually.
Okay.
Yet to be determined, but there might be something up with that raven.
After that, Mormont talks to Jon about, like, Robb and how it, like, troubles Jon a little bit that, you know, Robb is becoming king since Jon is on Castle Black. You know, nothing matters over here or whatever. I think that conversation was the last of that, though.
No, they kind of introduced this idea of Jon being king. And I remember when I was watching the show, to me it felt, especially once Ned died, it felt like Jon was I don't want to say main character. It just felt like there was something special about Jon, just the way that they, portrayed him in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember thinking the same thing about Dany. Like it almost, in my mind, and I could have just been my own perception of this, it almost felt like Jon and Dany. Now, in the books, I don't feel like that's the case. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like Jon and Dany are the two main? Like, obviously, you have two POVs from them. They're two important characters, but I just remember thinking, oh, this is the Jon and Dany show.
Like, I don't want to say yes, because, like, I think one of my favorite chapters are probably Jon, so I don't want to be like yes, because, like, I'm just, like, biased towards those chapters. I think overall, though, like, he's not super important, because, like, his story is, like, that's all just Castle Black. Yeah, he's getting, like, noise, or, like, word from, like, the rest of, is it Westeros?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, the rest of Westeros about, like, what's happening out there, but it's, like, he's not part of that.
Yeah, I feel like in the book, it's so much more about King's Landing.
Yeah. I think, like, the main, like, important people right now would be, like, Cat, because of Robb, and I want to say Tyrion, because, like, he's where King's Landing is.
Yeah.
And, like, we haven't even gotten a Dany chapter yet, so I don't know. Which is crazy, because she just had the dragons.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so now I have Cat. So apparently they made Robb a crown. I found out he's 15 now. And, like, that's so crazy. Like, crowned at 15. I don't know. How old is Joffrey?
Younger, but, like, maybe within a year or two.
Yeah, so, like, 13, 14.
Somewhere
like
around there.
Yeah. But, like, 15, fighting in wars, killing people, 15.
Right.
Like, that's crazy. But, yeah, they made him a crown, and, like, the whole, like, first paragraph was, like, Cat was watching Robb adjust his crown, so he's like, oh yeah, move it a little bit this way, move it to the side a little bit.
It was all a metaphor about him not being comfortable with it.
Yeah. Sir Cleos Frey was mentioned. I think, I can't remember if he's a cousin to the Lannisters, is he? Okay. Yeah, I think it was him. So he's a prisoner there. I found that Grey Wind was as large as an elk hound. I don't know what that is.
An elk hound?
Well, because, like, it said elk and then dash hound.
I don't know what that is.
I was like, what the hell? So I'm guessing it's just, like, an elk. But, like, that's huge. So
Right.
I'm like, there's no way he's as big as an elk.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe an elk hound?
Yeah. Maybe it's, like, in between, like...
An elk and a hound?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. So yeah, that's how big Grey Wind is. They're talking, so Robb is with, like, a bunch of his men in this, like, I don't know where they are, but they're talking to Sir Cleos Frey. And Robb's like, hey, I need you to send a message to your cousin Cersei. And it's a message of peace. And I was like, no way. And as soon as he says that, Rickard Karstark leaves the room, and I was like, he's gonna do something now.
He's the one that had his sons all killed, right?
Yeah. So there was 5 things that needed to happen. Cersei needed to release his sisters, bring back Ned's bones, bring back ice, release their prisoners, and then they have, like, no reign over the north. So, like, all of the north and, like, the borders that they draw.
What do you think about that demand?
It's definitely not something that she would agree to. And that's why I was like, if I was Rickard Karstark and I heard, like, the demand...
Not even get a brother back? Is that part of it? Like, is he going to give up?
Oh, yeah. He was like, if you like, do these things, like, I'll give you some of these people. And then, like, if you do these things, I'll, like, continue on and give you some of these people and stuff. But Jaime doesn't get to leave. Jaime has to stay.
All right.
I totally forgot they had Jaime. Oh, my God. But I feel like if I was... Karstark and I was like hearing these demands, I'd be like, there's no way Cersei would, like, agree to this, so then we can go to war anyway, you know?
Right.
But he left before he could hear the demands, so it's like, right. So he was just saying all those demands, and then meeting was over by that point, and I think everybody leaves. He's with his mom, and he's petting Grey Wind, and he was like, Mom, did you see that, how, like, Frey was looking, and he looked so terrified, like, acting like a little boy, which I thought was funny. then they were talking about how their strength is smaller. Like, all the River Lords, like, left. And I was like, damn, that sucks. Because I want to say Jon, like, let them leave. Or
wasn't it to, like, essentially go back and protect their land?
Yeah. I don't think it wasn't Jon, it was Edwin. Or, wait, no, what's his name? Edmure. Not Edwin. Yeah. Edmure. And he was saying, like, oh, you know what, like, let these people go back to protect their lands.
Right.
And Rob was like, oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, and then, so he's talking with his mom now, and he's basically saying, like, yeah, I'm not gonna free Jaime, not even for Arya or Sansa. I was like, damn. And Kat was, like, upset about that, and I think, like, this whole conversation, Rob was kind of just, like, upset at his mom, and he was, like, trying to get her to leave, too. He was like, you know, you could go back to Winterfell with the...
what a thought.
Yeah, because he's sending Theon away, too.
Did he say why?
He's sending him back to his dad because he wants, like, their ships or something, and he was like, yeah, you know, if I send him back to his dad, like, they're more likely to give me the ships because I just sent him back.
Yeah, do you remember, like, under what circumstances they had Theon?
Not totally, but it was like, you know, we have Theon, so they can't do anything, basically.
Theon's dad tried to claim a crown.
Okay.
And then, so they took the son and said, hey, chill out. As long as you behave well, we'll treat your son well. So his son's been a hostage. So this would be returning your son hostage from being a hostage for the last decade or something. So it's a big gesture.
Yeah. Okay. And then Kat was, like, really disagreeing with that. She was like, dude, we can't trust that guy. And, like, you know, if you send Theon back, like, he can just, what if he wants to claim the crown again? What if he, like, you know, starts some things?
What would your gut tell you on that whole situation?
I mean, I don't know how bad this guy is. What's his name? Balon Greyjoy?
Yeah.
I don't know how bad he is, so it's like, I mean, claiming a crown is a really big thing, but, like, maybe he got over it.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway, Rob was like, oh, you know, you can leave with Theon and go back to Winterfell, you know, you could just leave, just go. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna just go see my dad. Yeah, bro, I know. I think it's because he's dying, so I don't want to hate too much, but, like...
You have two, like, babies
that
are home alone.
Right, and one of them's, like, paralyzed.
Yeah, you have a paralyzed 8-year-old.
Right.
You have a little 3-year-old.
Yeah.
It's like...
He's 4 now, Dad.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, the comment here is called the Red Messenger. Idiots. It's the dragon
one. Is it Rob's Red Messenger?
I don't remember. It's just the Red Messenger. I don't know. I forgot who she's talking about. Or talking with. She might be talking with her uncle, maybe. But they're talking about, like, all the wars that are happening around. Then they talk about Harrenhal history, which I don't remember. What? Damn. Dad, it's been so long.
Dude, Harrenhal is, like...
Oh, okay, wait,
I
no.
love all the lore around Harrenhal.
I do remember, because I remember looking it up. I remember that video you sent me of, like, the Targaryens and, like, their first, like how they, like, came to be and, like, when they came over yeah. So I was like, oh, you know what? I think Harrenhal was mentioned in here. So, and it was, I think. It was that really big, like, tower
It's
thing.
like the biggest castle.
Yeah, and it was, like... I don't want to say impenetrable, but it was a really big thing until, like, dragons came around and destroyed that shit.
It just flew over it.
Yeah.
Nobody can climb these walls. We can fly over them.
And I think, like, a lot of people died.
Yeah.
And they all, like, burned in there, which is, like Jesus.
Yeah.
But everyone thinks it's haunted because of, like, I'm guessing how many people died.
It seems cursed. I don't know if they say haunted, but it just seems cursed.
Yeah. Was that the only reason? Was there more?
No, there's a lot more.
Oh my god.
There's a lot more.
Okay, well, I think we just talked about how...
Definitely more in the future of the book as well. So,
okay.
Yeah.
We just talked about how, like, you know, they built these, like, really tall walls. I think the guy, Heron, or whatever... I can't remember. There wasn't anything good said about him, but...
Yeah, he was crazy for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and then I think he was the one that, like, the day that it was completed, he then killed all of the builders.
Oh,
because he didn't
really?
want any of the builders to know the secrets of it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, like, he's definitely not a good dude.
That's crazy. So yeah, they talk about that, and then they talk about a new host at Casterly Rock, commanded by Steffard Lannister. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna lie. There's a new
You
host.
sound like the nervous, like, 7th grader that's reading in front of the class. A new host.
At Casterly Rock. Who's Stefford Land? Oh, I don't know who that is. Stefford Lannister?
Yeah, what was the... Oh, I was thinking Kevin. Kevin Lannister is, like, the decent guy.
That's the uncle.
Yeah, another... Yeah, I don't know.
Lannister.
Yeah, just
okay.
another Lannister.
Well, there's a new host at Casterly
Okay,
Rock.
cool.
Commanded by Stefford Lannister. And then, I forgot. Kat came to this, like, big realization that, like, they should ask Renly for help. I don't know why. I forgot, like, why it was like, oh, you know, like, if we do this, we can ask Renly for help. But I can't remember why they wanted to do that and why it was, like, a good thing or, like, a smart thing to do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, anyway, that's how that one ended. And then we were Tyrion. And this one I was really confused on at the beginning because I did not know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
But then I got it. So then he's with Janos. Oh, my goodness. Dude, Stark is, like...
We have a 150-pound mastiff that's about 2.5 feet from the mic, and now he's snoring, so... Dude, that's so loud.
I think it's actually picking it up.
We see the little audio thing. Sorry, guys. It's either this or them crying at the door.
Okay, so he's talking to Janos Slynt right now. And he's, like, giving him a bunch of wine. He's, like, asking him questions, and he was like, oh, you know, more wine? They talk about this guy named Alardine to replace the commander of the City Watch, which was Janos Slynt. And I can't remember. I think Janos wanted Alardine, but he was, like,
brutal,
disliked because later on I found out he killed this, like, woman and her baby at a
brothel.
At a brothel because it was I think it was Cersei's, like, command because Cersei's trying to get rid of all of Robert's bastards.
Right. And we talked about that a little bit during Arya's chapter because they were coming after the bull.
The bull,
right, and you're like, just let him go. And then in my mind, I'm like, bro, she's killing all of them.
Yeah.
He's just like one of 15 of the kids that are going down.
Right. And I didn't know that until, like, later on.
Right.
Bro, because they were like, I did not know what they were talking about. They didn't mention anything. So then Tyrion suggests this guy named Jacelyn Bywater. I don't know if
Jacelyn or something.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. So then after mentioned that Deem killed a woman, and was sent after, like, Robert's bastard.
I do think that Tyrion's doing a good job of pulling information out and making decisions based on what's best. Now it's kind of, like, muddled in the mix of a lot of details that you might not be.
Yeah.
But I think that a takeaway here is that we're getting a little bit of an introduction that Tyrion is going to be good.
Bro, he's putting in the work.
Yeah, he's going to be good at this position.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and then Tyrion was like, you know, I think, like, Dean would be, like, best for the Night's Watch, bro, because nobody likes this guy. There was a lot of conversation that, like, I didn't make note of, but it's just basically talking about, like, who's gonna replace the City Watch or whatever, who wouldn't be good for this, and then he I don't want to say he, like, threatens him, but, like, he asks him how many sons he has, because his whole goal was to, like, just get rid of Janos Slynt, I think, but before this, previously, Tyrion was talking to Cersei, and he was like, oh, you know, can you trust, like, the people on your council? And Cersei was like, you know, I don't trust anybody. And Tyrion was like, you know, our dad thinks that, like, the people on the council aren't good because of what's been happening. And I forgot Janos Slynt is on the council, so I'm assuming he's, like, he heads for him first because he's like, you know, it's Janos Slynt. Like, this guy just, like, came on here, like, you know, a couple months ago or whatever, how long it was.
Right.
So he asks him how many sons he has, and Janos Slynt, like, starts, like, freaking out. He's like, oh my god, like, what's gonna happen to me? But he just decides to send him to the Night's Watch, and Tyrion's like, you know, all your sons will be taken care of. You know, I can't remember if they'll get to keep the name or anything, but, like, they won't. I don't think they get to keep Harrenhal, but they, you know, get to, like, live decent lives. So then he makes Jacelyn the new commander of the City Watch. I think Deem is, like, going on some boat or whatever, and then they might, like, throw him overboard. Let's see. So Cersei sent, like, the gold cloaks to the brothel, which we found out, and I don't remember why that was, like, a big deal. But Tyrion was like, oh, I finally found out my sister was the one that like sent the gold cloaks to the brothel, and I don't know why that wasn't like obvious, but I don't know.
Well, did they play it up like if it was a big reveal that he figured that out?
because Tyrion was like super upset about it. I think Varys came in, and Varys was like, or Tyrion was like, oh, you knew that Cersei was the one that sent, these people to the brothel to kill that lady and the
baby.
Yeah, that baby. So then he's talking to Varys, and then they talk.
And then the lady, I think it was in a previous chapter. She was like, oh, just tell Robert that she has her eye. That it was kind of like sweet and super sad, because clearly.
I didn't realize that was the same lady.
Yeah,
damn, that's sad.
Like, I don't want anything from Robert. Just let him know that, like, the daughter has his eye. I forget exactly what the detail was. But no, they got murked.
Oh my god, that's crazy. So yeah, they talk about power with Varys, Tyrion and Varys, and then. This is when I was talking about, like, Tyrion wants to know more about Varys, and he was like, how did you get like this? And then Varys doesn't say anything about it. And then
how he became a eunuch.
Yeah. And then they just talk about, like, the hand problems, like, like things that need to be done around, like, the castle. And then...
So Tyrion for king, right?
Doing pretty good he's doing pretty good. He's doing all the king stuff, so... he talks to Bronn, but I don't remember the conversation. So I don't think it was like anything super important. He was like, if I told you or like anyone told you to like go kill a baby and her mom, like, would you do it? No questions asked. And he was like, no question asked. Like, I would ask questions and then I would be like, how much? I was like, damn. But yeah, that was...
Doesn't he tell him, like, hey, or maybe he told him this previously, if somebody offers you money, I'll always double it, or something like that?
Maybe, but, like, I don't remember that too much. Okay. But yeah, that was the end. I wish I, like, remembered all the conversations, but it's been so long.
I know, like 2 days ago. Forever.
But yeah, that was it.
Okay, cool.
Alright, I gotta see what
chapters are next.
Let's see. So we got Arya.
Okay. Oh, they had just kicked the gold cloaks out, right? Because they were coming for...
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? We're calling on the bull. What's his name?
Greg.
No. Damn.
Grenji?
Oh, Gendry.
Gendry. Okay.
So what do you think is going to happen? Are they going to continue headed north, or are the gold cloaks going to catch back up with them? Are they going to...
I think they're gonna continue heading north, but I don't know how far they are from like King's Landing, so I don't want to be like, oh yeah, the gold cloaks are gonna catch up with them, because what's his face, Yoren was like, we gotta go. So I'm thinking like they're actually gonna pick up pace and not stay.
I think that because they have so many people, they probably won't be as fast.
Yeah.
And then they have like kids and the prisoners that they have in the cage, and so I can't imagine them being too fast.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll go close to catch up with them, but like I don't think the bull is gonna get got yet. He seems pretty important. So. Like
Ned.
Oh, why would you say that, man?
Being pretty important doesn't save you a whole lot.
That's true. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna die yet, though.
Okay.
Not yet. But yeah.
Not to take it too much out of the story, but again, I'm playing World of Warcraft, and there's this main character that they look like was gonna die, and then at the very end of the cinematic they give you like a little hint that she's not gonna die, and it just makes me miss A Song of Ice and Fire. Like, there's real consequences in this story.
Yeah.
So
we got this guy named Davos. I don't know. Oh wait, is this that one guy that
Davos
no hand
chapter.
Or no fingers?
Yeah, he got the end of his finger bones chopped off for breaking the law and smuggling in onions to save the life of Stannis.
Right. So where is he? Oh, he is with Stannis.
Yeah, he just witnessed in the prologue. He witnessed that Maester attempting to kill the Red Woman.
Yeah, and then the Maester died. That was so sad.
And we get a little hint that Davos is like a sweet guy.
Yeah.
That he's seen what the Maester was kind of. He moved over so the Maester had a seat and stuff like that.
Right. So, and then he watched him freaking die in front of his face.
Yeah.
What a shame. So yeah, we got Davos.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they probably know Well, so let's take it out of Davos. Obviously, he's with Stannis. What's the next step for Stannis?
I mean, I don't know. It looks like Stannis is not doing, like, going down the right path. I mean, he's with, like, that red woman or whatever, and then his wife seems a little... His wife was the one that, like, brought the red woman, isn't it? So,
yeah,
like,
she's a little kooky.
Yeah, so both of those people just, like, boo. And then the only guy that could really help him is dead now. So
No,
it's
do
like,
you have a reason to distrust the red woman?
only from the Maester. I mean, the Maester was, like, the red woman, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and she, like, drank poison and didn't die, so that's
So that could, like, maybe she's blessed and gifted and... Why not?
I don't know, bro. That's a little weird. Well, if she was, like... I don't know. If she was good, she wouldn't, you know, be like, hey, don't do this, you know? Like, don't drink the poison,
That's
bro.
fair.
Like, she was like, oh, you know.
But if somebody's trying to murder you, you're going to try to save their life?
I mean, like, you know, clearly the Maester was like, this red woman is horrible and not good for Stannis, and you know that he cares so much for Stannis, so it's like,
okay.
He has to have, like, a decent reason to not like this woman. And apparently she's been, like, you know, saying all this, like, weird stuff, and well, I don't want to be, like, weird stuff, because I think they just have, like, a different god, so, and I know, like, the Maester was like, oh, you know, there's multiple gods, and they're like, oh, it's just one, so, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
And then we have Theon.
Oh, another one. These new
All
perspectives.
I was going to say, all the new ones, yeah.
So he's headed back to the Iron Isles, I think is what they call it.
Yeah, something like that.
So maybe we'll meet the dad here pretty soon.
Yeah.
What's your vibe on Theon?
He's a little weird. Like, I remember at the beginning, he kicked the head.
Right.
You know, Kat doesn't really like him either, I don't
trust
think.
Kat.
Well, no, but, like...
Rob likes him.
That's true. I don't know, bro. I don't know. He's just a little weird.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten much impression from him from Jon's perspective either. Like, the only one that really knows him is just...
Jon didn't really like him.
Yeah, and, like, I like Jon.
Right,
you know, Jon's
right.
pretty trustworthy. But then I don't want to be like, oh, you know, Rob isn't trustworthy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He's just a little weird.
The relationship between Rob and Theon is that they grew up as, like, kind of best friends. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of puts a blinder over Rob's eyes of maybe Theon's faults.
Yeah.
Because he's just so buddy-buddy with him. But, yeah, I think it's pretty clear that Theon's not the most mature. You know, he might not be malicious or evil, but, you know, he's a knucklehead.
Yeah, and I think, remember when Bran was, like, being attacked and then he, like, shot that...
Reckless.
Yeah,
right,
and then I think...
he saved Bran's life, but he was...
You know, he could have killed him also,
yeah,
so...
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. He's just a little odd. I don't really have too much of an opinion on him.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll see. I just hope, like, when he goes back, like, things don't go bad. As in, like, you know, Rob was, like, hoping to get, like, these ships or whatever.
Right.
And, like,
Right.
what if his dad is like, no, fuck him, you know?
Yeah.
So, we'll see. And then I know we're not reading this one, but Dany is next after that.
Okay.
So,
all right.
you know, I get a Dany chapter finally.
All right, so Arya and then 2 new POVs.
That's crazy.
Cool.
I'm excited for Davos. I didn't know that I was getting
Yeah,
Davos.
yeah.
Because he seemed like...
A side character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
Cool. All right. Till next time, guys. We'll see you guys. Oh, where's the button?
Oh, gosh. That's embarrassing.